1980X is like a super duper 80s arcade extravaganza. The aesthetic is really cool, the pixel art is beautiful, and you got this boppin' retro soundtrack. They're definitely going for an epic coming-of-age drama feeling. It's also super short. You can beat it in like an hour or two, and most of the highlights are in the Steam trailer. Hopefully this kills it, otherwise I'm dead. It's part one of an epic saga, but I didn't know that when I started it, so I was expecting each of the different game modes to be like more fleshed out. Like when I played them, I was like, this is gonna be a full game, but it ended up being like a few levels per mode. Oh fuck, see, dude. I always like fly into them because I'm like, fuck you. They're basically like bite-sized game appetizers, which is cool. And they all look and sound so cool, but some of them could use more depth. The side-scrolling beat-em-up is alright. It's basically dripping cool vibes, but you can basically like only kick and punch. Sometimes you can pick up a bat, and there's also a cool jump move, but it basically just sets the stage and builds up the atmosphere of the rest of the game. I think Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time was the only game that I played similar, like side-scrolling beat 'em up back in the day. But I can't actually remember any other mechanics that game had either. So maybe that's just like what beat 'em ups are. You have health, of course, but it doesn't really matter. There's a score too, but I never really paid attention to it. I can't really imagine playing through this part again just to beat the high score, because it's only like 5 or 10 minutes long.
Maybe I could be one of them.
The space shooting game is dope. It's also super simple, but it's longer than the beat 'em up. There's more enemies. You can also upgrade your laser to make it go boom. Ooh, ooh, boom. Which is a definite plus. I had to retry this one a bunch, but it wasn't frustrating to finish it, and like I enjoyed retrying it, which is like a satisfying level of difficulty for me. Also, the boss is a robot and it bleeds when he dies, which is pretty awesome. Oh, the Giga Blade. Oh shit. What the fuck? What the? But only if he doesn't kill you first. The runaway. Let's do it. Let's do it. The racing part is lame. It's mostly just a set piece. You're not racing against anybody. It's like a checkpoint time trial type deal, which is cool. Like that's pretty much how like Cruising USA or Cruising the World were, except in those you are racing against somebody, so I guess not. Hopefully there's a checkpoint soon. Fuck you, Van. I'll fucking kill you, bro. I only had to retry it one time, and half of it is a cutscene. It's cool, like the cutscene is cool, like I feel the vibes, you know, it looks cool. But, and it's also a good backdrop for the narration. But it's like kind of a stretch almost to call the racing part a game.
¿Cómo se hacen más grandes los sprites de los otros autos en la pantalla? Tal vez los sprites ya sean grandes, pero están muy lejos. O está cambiando constantemente el tamaño de los sprites para que parezca que nos estamos acercando a los otros autos. Quizás el motor del juego simplemente se encarga de esto.
Speaking of the narration, the story is kind of a big focus, and it does start getting interesting towards the end. But before the end, it's mostly like setup and all exposition. There's no dialogue, only one character. Your character talks.
The basement air was thick with cigarette smoke and 10,000 volts of energy. And in the midst of this electric haze stood an army of high-tech creatures, their huge crystal clear screens flashing before my eyes.
It leans really heavily into the 80s coming of age tropes, which I think that's the point, right? And it's cool, it's chill. Like the early setup drama, it didn't really work for me, but I want to see where it goes in the next one for sure. And like I appreciated it, like I'm here for it. And also there's a girl at school that the kid talks about before the driving game.
But then there was her.
That's your character's name. He's the kid, which is pretty awesome. But that's it. Like the girl never appears again. She's never mentioned again. And I was just like, where'd she go? Like, is she going to be in part 2? Nobody knows. I mean, she's probably going to be in part 2, but maybe not. After you drive, you get to play the ninja game, which was my favorite one. You have a fox mask, and you get to slice and dice while you run. Ooh, electro sword. Which is all the successful ingredients you need, apparently. My favorite song on the soundtrack was also in the ninja game. Yeah. And similarly to the space side scroller, I had to retry it a bunch, but each time was like frustratingly fun, like a good platforming or reflex challenge. And I could also feel myself getting better as I did it. It's probably actually a pretty vanilla difficulty curve compared to like modern hard games, but also fuck you. The mechanics are simple in this one too, but it still feels like engaging. Like you can pretty much only jump and slice, but I don't know, it's still fun. Electro sword. Wow. Oh shit. No. And the boss is cool, for sure. Fuck you, bitch. Oh. Good ninja. After ninja time is RPG time, which is actually pretty cool. I really liked the old school, simple RPG style. Slay 3 dragons to escape the maze. You have to guess what move each enemy is weak to and find your way through this like blue line maze that like reminds me of Tron, the first one, even though I've never seen it. I didn't realize until the very end of this level that there's a map in the corner of the screen, like mapping out the maze as you explore it. But even without the map, the maze isn't too hard to navigate, to find your way. I died a few times, mostly because I also didn't realize that one of my moves healed me. But this one was less hard than the ninja and the space game, for sure. It was still cool though, because the story starts getting interesting during this one to me. And everything looks really cool. There's like a little text feed in the side of everything that's happening. The boss is cool. The computer speaks to you while you walk around the maze.
Det gjør meg lei når robotstemmen snakker til meg som en forelder ville snakket med barnet sitt.
Oh, it was draining my health, bro. The credits are really long. Tons of people contributed to the Kickstarter for this game, and I'm kind of curious if they feel like they got what they wanted from it. I wonder if they're gonna do another Kickstarter for part 2, because I don't know, it's like a big production and it's a short game. It's definitely cool. It's definitely like a nostalgia homage, which is, I mean, that's cool. I'm here for that. If they do a Kickstarter for part 2, I might do it. Like, I might donate, because I'd like to play the next part, and I'm glad I played this one.